Hi. Okay, Friday. I know it's not a busy day for Facebook, so maybe some of you on Facebook will miss this that are interested in aged urine, learning more. That's good as playing up this video, oh dear. But anyway, this will hopefully come out clear, and this will be available for people to watch on YouTube. Again, on the wonderful, the magical aged Urine town. Aged urine, Shivambu, Urine, whatever beautiful name you want to call this healing modality is fucking wonderful and fucking beautiful. I love it. I love it so much, aged urine. It's amazing. So, this is actually a really important video. Maybe I shouldn't have done it today on a Friday evening. Maybe that's a bad thing, but I repeat this information time and time again on how I know now the main reasons why aged urine is the most fucking powerful force in the universe, and why it's the main. There's been there's arguments and people disagree with me, but hear me out on why I say why it's the uber super structurization of the urine. Structured. Fresh urine is always structured in a person, but it becomes super uber fucking structured, and that is, let me tell you, the reason why aged urine is all powerful. So I'm going to connect the dots. Hopefully I'll go with the flow, and this will come out proper. I will get better at presenting this information so that everyone can understand it. But let me explain to you why I believe this to be so. So we know that distilled water, structured water is really important. We know that distilled water is a very clean water. Playing a little bit, so I'll repeat that. We know that's Rick. What's up, boy? Yeah, my man, aged urine, massaging. So let's go here. We know that distilled water from a machine is non-structured unless we go out the way to structure it. It's 0 ppm, magnetic negative charge, but it becomes more powerful, just as plain old machine-made distilled water, when we structure it by movement, when we structure it with vortex, when we just put it out in sunlight. That's sunrise, sunset therapy. Right. Now, we know fruits are good for us. Anyone that denies fruits are good for you, too much fruit is a funny. One of the reasons, let me repeat that. We know that fruits are really good for us too, because one of the reasons why we know fruits is, fuck this too much sugar idea, is because predominantly fruits are made up of water, and not just any water. Fruits are made up of structured water. How does the water that's 90% in a fruit, more or less in most of them, get structured? Sunlight structures water. Sunlight structures everything, man. Movement and sunlight. So, fruit water is very powerful because it's not just plain old distilled water, which is very good too, but it's super buggy and probably super bug you guys too. I don't want it because I want to present this in a flow, and I can't go in flow if I know that people aren't hearing the words I'm saying, because I know someone's going to comment that they can't read. They won't get any value from this and start moaning on YouTube. Yeah, I know what people are like. Not everyone, but some people are like that. Yeah, so anyway, fruits are good because they're structured. Good for us. Now, fresh urine is also good because it is structured water. Unlike distilled water from a machine, which is non-structured unless we go out there to structure it, fresh urine, even of a sick person, is structured water. Now, the healthier you are, the more clean you eat, the better, the more you fast, the more emotionally healthy you are, the more physically, emotionally, spiritually healthy you are, the more structured your blood supply is going to be, and therefore the more structured your fresh urine will be. So that's cool. That means your fresh urine can be more powerful to drink if you are more healthy. But also, don't go too deep into what I just said there, because the fresh urine of you, even as an unhealthy person, is going to have the antidotes to the medicine. So say you're fighting cancer right now, your fresh urine, forget about aged urine, I'll get to that in a second, super structuring, your fresh urine is going to contain antibodies for the diseases that are unique to you, that you're fighting. So if you've got cancer, if you've got arthritis, you've got any kind of Alzheimer's, dementia, your body's always trying to work to fight that, and it's going to come out, it's going to be in your blood, those are going to come out in your urine. So your fresh urine, even though it's a healthy person, will be, yes, less structured. Yes, less structured. It will have other components too. So that's that said. So fresh water. Now, the reason why aged urine is so fucking powerful is it's not just a little bit of structuring. You have to understand, people, there is the difference in structurization is there's almost like no limit to how structured water can get. Okay. Right, say that again. There's no cap to how structured something can get, right? And aged urine, why? There's a lot of reasons why it might become a little more powerful. The main reason why it becomes super fucking powerful is the structurization process. It becomes really... Now, what does structure mean? It means a containment of negative ions. So something structured, what happens is there's a negative charge, but then there's a negative ion charge in something that's structured, but something that's more structured than another thing has got not just more negative ions, but here's the key. The clusterization of the negative ions, the compactment, is much more tinier, and in order for negative ions to be effective, not only do you need a great quantity of them, people know about the quantity, yeah, it's great to have those ions, and yes, aged urine has loads of negative ions, and yes, other things like, I don't know, Kangen have loads of negative ions too, according to the thing, but here's the difference. Aged urine has not just got loads of negative ions. It's not just about that. It's about the clusterization. It's about the size of the negative ions. Big negative ion clusters are less effective, even though there might be loads of negative ions in it. But aged urine, what it does, by a natural, godly fucking process, not an accident, people, that fresh urine happens to age and become more powerful by itself. Come on, let's wake up here. Let's actually wake up. Do you really think it's an accident that your own medicine in fresh is fucking made and designed for you? The front is production. The front end of your vessel is reproduction. The back end is waste, like a duality-based system. I saw someone do a post today. Is it Jesse? I posted actually on my Facebook. No, it might not be Jesse, but anyway, someone made a really good point and said that the front end of the vessel, my willy, is for reproduction and for urine. My back end is for waste, because it's the yin-yang duality-based system, isn't it? Front end medicine, back end waste. Anyway, going too far. The key is not just amount of negative ions to uber superstructure, but also the clusterization becomes super small. They become compactful and super tight, and that makes the medicine powerful. So how do I know, in my heart and from my own experiments, that aged urine is uber superstructured water? I could talk all day in this, but let's get to the main conclusions and how I know. It becomes more powerful, and I'm messing about with distilled water. I've always been messing around with distilled. Let me just show you 1 second. Right, 0 water, 0 ppm, not from it's probably better in a machine, but this is just 0 water, so it doesn't take any electricity, it comes out 0 ppm, you can test on a meter, but this is the connection of how I know that structuring of water gives you all the benefits of aged urine, but this is not structured, so I'll explain in a second. Right, that vessel I've just shown you, try and follow here people if you're interested, that thing I'll just show you, what I do with it, is, because it's just distilled water, I structure it by, I've got it right now on a red light machine, and I put it out on sunrise sunset too, if I'm outside and open the window too and get the medicine in. Anyway, the point is, my distilled water, I charge for a long time now, like yesterday, and day before yesterday, I don't keep it right next to the red light machine. 1 second, I'll put it on next to my thing. Right. So I put it next to the machine for 2-3 hours, and I drink that water, and I drink it compared to, and I notice a massive difference compared to if I unstructured the water or just kept it out for a little while at sunrise sunset. But if I ubercharge it, if I really structure my distilled water for hours and hours and hours of the key frequency of sunlight called infrared and red light, that's the one that structurizes it the most. UVB too, that, but not itself. You need to charge it really. It's the sunrise sunset magic medicine. Cut a long story short, what I've been doing is I've been doing it for 3 hours, so I've made the distilled water really fucking structured. And funny enough, it does exactly the same thing as aged urine. Yeah. Did you hear what I said? It does exactly the same thing, the same benefits, the same awesome shit, more or less, as aged urine, but it's just distilled water that's been structured for hours and hours and hours under a red light machine. So it becomes like aged urine. However, it's not aged urine. It's got no nutrients. This is how I know. It gives the same benefits. I'll tell you the benefits in a second. It gives me the same benefits and same awesome side effects. Side effects, no. The same benefits without having the nutrients. It can't be the nutrient factor. It can't be the stem cells, brother. I love stem cells, and maybe they multiply in the aged urine, but I tell you what, no. It's not the stem cells in the urine that's doing it. So that's that out of the way. There's no nutrition, vitamins and minerals, hormones and enzymes, which are definitely present in the fresh urine, aged urine. Oh yeah, they're present in the aged urine, but they're not the reason, because I'm getting benefits from just plain old 0 ppm water. So it's the fucking structurization of aged urine that's giving me the same shit as the structurization of my distilled water. So you too, if you are scared, by the way, and watching this and just curious about aged urine, you haven't got around to trying and you never will, or you know people that won't, guess what? Go and get start start someone on distilled water and get them a red light machine, and definitely tell them to keep it outside all day long, even with a closed lid, because red light penetrates through glass, although preferably without, because it does it even more. But you want to, keep it outside all day long, and that would do uber superstructuring. Plus, get them a red light machine for their distilled water, and holy shit. So that's people that don't want to do age urine. Anyway, here's the things I notice when I do this for a couple of hours. The charging up of uber superstructured water, my breathing slows down massively. Just very similar to aged urine. Take a sip of aged urine, a couple weeks old, your breath slows down. But that's not the main one, actually. The one that really piqued my mind and makes me know my heart is the structured distilled water that I'm now doing for a long time, a few hours under the red light machine. When I've been doing it at night time, I've been rubbing it on my belly like a urine massage, like an aged urine massage, except it's just this plain old distilled water, although it's not now, is it? It's uber super structured distilled water. Actual 0 ppm water, no hormones, minerals, enzymes. And what I do is I massage that on my gut. Right, also my testicles too. It's hard to tell, but the gut one is doing something that piqued my interest and makes me know at heart something crazy is going like aged urine. What happens is I will do it at night time, and I eat one meal a day about midday. So it's by this point about 10 hours, 11, 12 hours into empty tummy. So that's very cool. And I rub it into my belly, and then 10, 20 minutes later, roughly, I'm not sure the exact time, but quite a few times what happens is I'll get an itchy bum. So yeah, that's a bit of personal information, but I'm sharing that for a reason. What that is, I'll tell you what I think it is. I think that's parasites coming out, bro. I think it's fucking parasites because I've just put in, not even aged urine. I'm killing parasites with distilled water that's uber super structured. Not like a little bit structured because I put out Sunrise. No, I'm doing for a couple of hours on a red light machine. I'm distilled, uber super structured. So, when I massage on my tummy, what's going on is that's seeping not into the bloodstream on the surface of my tummy, it's also going into the organs beneath the surface of the tummy, the gut, which is the colon and the small intestines where the parasites lie. And therefore, when it gets into them, they're like, holy shit, they're recognizing this, same as aged urine. They're recognizing this uber super structured water and going, they can't survive. Parasites don't like it. You're killing them off. Uber super structured water, let me tell you, that could be a quote. It's a fact. Uber super structured water kills parasites. And aged urine is structured water. And for those that don't want to do aged urine, cool. Get distilled water. Get a do it out in sunlight, and when you take it in, just put it on a red light machine somewhere, non-stop for a couple of hours. Urine. But that's how I know. What kills parasites in aged urine is the structurization progress, because my distilled water that is not to do with urine, that has no nutrients, hormones, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, no stem cells, no alkalinity, guys. This distilled water is a pH acidy, I think, 0 ppm. All it's got going for it is uber super structurization by the red light therapy, which Jared Pollock brought us this information, that it's actually just sunrise, sunset, red light frequencies, infrared light frequencies, that structure. And here I with my experiments, it kills parasites when I put it under the red light machine. And by the way, that water, if I took it overnight without it, which I've done many times before, in sips, if I massage it onto my tummy in very small amounts, it doesn't kill the parasites. I don't get itchy bum. I only get itchy bum when I'm doing this, and when I've got parasites. I think we all do to some extent, and I'm still eating crap. So not that it's a bad thing to me because I'm learning so much from doing so many things wrong. But there we go. That's my theory, and I fucking know I'm right, and that's why it's really important for me to get. On aged urine was fucking great, and it was great for the 7 ways to get aged urine into you, and it had a little science, which is kind of cool. But now my main focus for the second book, which by the way will be out, haven't started writing. It take me a couple of weeks. I'll do it at the end of January, February, of testimonials and all. I'm going to put, I'll redo the 7 ways to do it, plus a few more, like vaporization of aged urine. I really want to push that. Plus aged urine in your testicles. I want to, for testosterone for guys, I'm going to push that. I want to push aged urine. I'm going to add in aged urine for baths too. So add in lots of geeky information on how to take it. But the main reason, apart from the fact we want to keep people invested in this most powerful, and it's going to blow up in 5-10 years, so it's good for us all to talk about and get the message out. The main reason is, I know now I'm on the right side of history, not only with aged urine, but the fact that it actually, the main reason, I know people won't like what I'm saying here, but it's fucking true, the main reason why, I mean there's loads of angles with aged urine, but the actual main reason why it's so powerful to remove parasites, why it's so powerful to slow the breath down, why it's so powerful to uplift the soul and raise your vibration and energy. The main reason is it's aged urine by itself. When you contain it in a plastic or glass bottle, even outside of sunlight, as it goes day by day, it becomes more structured. To stop that process, it's impossible. Once you contain it, it will just get more and more structured. How fucking cool is that? And there, I'm done. I'm happy I got information out there. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm not sure who's watching here, but I never know from the Facebook profiles, really. Patrick, cool. Enjoy yourself, and yeah, I hope you guys are still on the aged urine protocols and doing them, and I'm glad that you guys are interested in the science behind it. I mean, it's great to have this knowledge, and it's not for everybody to go too deep on the science, but I'm one of those. I love the science. It really motivates me to understanding a thing. There might be ormus that's beneficial to it. Definitely, ormus. I definitely say stem cells have an impact. I definitely think the stem cell proliferation is a thing. I definitely think there's DMT in the urine that's awesome, maybe proliferates. I definitely think there's vitamins and minerals and enzymes and hormones in the urine that the aged urine that do magic, and maybe some of them proliferate too. But rest assured, the main mechanism, foolproof, is the structurization. In other words, Gerald Pollack's fourth phase of water. Gerald Pollack will be fucking proud. Let's get that man. Let's continue the legacy of legends like Gerald Pollack, and aged urine, funny enough, he never would have guessed, is his fourth phase of water gone extreme. Like I said, uber super structured. There is nothing more structured. It's like a crystal. Think of a crystal, it's uber super structured. Well, aged urine is a liquid that is uber fucking super structured. On that note, peace, I love you, and thank you.